might not be the best way to be testing stuff, but this is all I got, guy. So, Big Black has been sitting for a little bit, and when that happens, well, basically, Big Black has been sitting here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. We're doing a bunch of things here. I hooked up a thing to this car to see if it works. It works, but kind of not. So, since the last storm, this is how Big Black has sat, all right? The problem with that is when you get the cold temperatures like we've had, and I've got nothing that's kind of maintaining the battery, Big Black does like to drain the battery. And a company called Loki Thor, which I think is a riot, company called Loki Thor, here, I can tell you right now, 11.1 volts. Now watch this, I'm gonna put the key in. As soon as I put it in, it's probably gonna go to like 9 volts. So key on, yeah, okay. This poor thing ain't gonna start. Ready? Here we go. Nothing. That's an issue. That's an issue, but I've got this, which is something that I keep in my truck from Jomgand. 3500 amp, supposedly, starter. Jump pack. Let's see what we're looking at for power here. It says it's fully charged. I could put this on, and when you double click the power button, it will show you how many volts are in the battery. So it's basically going to show the same thing. So this other company, Loki Thor, they sent me out a jump pack, which actually, you know what? Let's grab this jump pack again, only because they look really similar. So here's the Jomgand. I think these are all the same. Be interesting to see what we're looking at on the back here. But these manufacturers are kind of, in a sense, a lot of them are realistically the same, right? Sometimes the differences are what you get as far as like battery leads. Like you can see the battery leads on these, on this thing, it's different. It's different than what's in the Loki Thor. So you might be getting better quality stuff. Man, it's cold out here. So, presentation-wise, the difference between this and the Loki Thor, which it's really not the same. Isn't that funny? So, it's got the dual light, so it does have dual lights. This thing is frozen, by the way. This one does appear to have a slightly bigger, like, footprint this way. We got connections in the back, which is input and output. Now I wanted to say something was kind of interesting about this. This is the 3250 versus a 35. So this is a 3250, I guess. This is what the power is on this thing. It does have a light in the front, press and hold it. You get a pretty bright light, man. So that's kind of cool. It's got a flashing strobe light, which is like, I guess, all right. Kind of wish it had magnets because that would kind of make sense. That way you can kind of stick it to the vehicle. And then it has just a SOS kind of deal, and then it's off. Kind of interesting. I don't know if I noticed it with this one or not. This one is at least showing me that the charger that I have it plugged into is charging it at 13 watts. This is the battery connection, positive, negative, with a giant EC8 connector. The presentation for this thing was actually pretty cool because they had this in here, which then that was in that. It's got a nice little ripcord thing that you can pull out, which makes it easier to get it out. It had a piece of foam protecting it. It does come with, looks like some kind of instructions or something. Packing list, product specifications, starting voltage 12 volt, store it between negative. Now this will potentially be an issue because if you're storing this in temperatures that are really in that negative range, these LiPo batteries or these LiPo starters, these things, they don't really like the cold, but it is like, Alexa, what's the temperature outside?
Right now, it's 29
All right, so 29 degrees. So that's not that bad. This one right here should be fine. This also does not start Big Black on a totally dead battery. We're gonna see if this one does. And if this one does it, if this one starts Big Black at that condition that you saw, then that's literally a buy. But what I will say is the clamps are different. Inside the box, the clamps, It's a little bit different. It's got a better, definitely a better plug on it. It's the same EC8 connector. Even these connection points, a very good solid spring. I'm not saying that this is not a good solid spring. It is. These jaws are going to be able to get into areas where maybe these ones don't. This spring is definitely a lot stronger. This one does not have the wire. This one has a wire that bridges in between the two, but that's because they're using a spring that's going in between, where this one is more built because it has metal. So it's got like that copper or whatever that goes in between the jaws. This is definitely a more stout or better, I would say, looking connector than this. I'm not saying that this one's bad. It's just this is different, and it's definitely better. It looks better, it feels better, it's got a nice little cap for there. Power port in the front here, so there's the main power port right there. And like I said on the back here, which is kind of cool, is it does do the USB fast charging in this box. Doing this one-handed here, guys. So it came with a USB to USB-C. So for faster charging, that's two-way. So an in and an out, I know this one does the same thing. This does the in and out. This is an in, that's an in, this is an out, and I believe that's an out. I don't think that's an out. 2 ins and 2 outs, because the USB-C fast charge will also act as a fast charge. So 13 watts, still charging up. I'll take it and I'll bring it out there, and I'm gonna try it anyway, but what I figured I could do is that if it doesn't start on the get-go, because Big Black, it's a 6.0 liter diesel, it takes some juice to start this truck. If this doesn't do it, I'm gonna attach them both, and in conjunction, they should both start that truck, because it is obviously, you know, with a diesel, it's a dual battery. So it's got that connection. It's got this, which is a regular USB to USB-C. And then, which is kind of cool, is it came with this. So, provided that your charging system, you know, I wonder, could this provide an out? Might have to check if this does an out. But provided that your charging system is actually functioning correctly, which Big Black's is, it's just like I said, Big Black in these cold temperatures does not like to sit for a long time. I don't really have the right batteries in it, but whatever. So once your vehicle is started, you can then plug this into your cigarette lighter and then charge your jump pack as you're going. You shouldn't be relying on one of these things as your main source of starting. If your batteries are really bad to where you're using a jump starter to jump all the time, this is not what you should be doing, but this will get you by, provided your charging system is operating correctly. Keep in mind, if you continually do that, if you have really crappy bad batteries, if you continually try to rely on your alternator charging bad batteries, you are going to ruin your electrical system. You will definitely ruin your charging system, and that's going to cost you an alternator. Don't go that route. Replace the battery when you should, but in the case of an emergency, if you need a jump, that's what these things are for. They're not made to replace your battery. And like I said, Big Black's batteries don't need to be replaced. It's just, last time I parked Big Black was the last storm, and that's the last time it got started. So maybe these batteries are junk. It's the wrong battery for the truck. The truck just chews through batteries, especially in the cold. So let's take this pack out, even though it's not fully charged, and let's see if this actually works. Even though we're not fully charged. And I'll show you the function that this one should have, that this one has. If you double press this, it'll show you the battery's voltage. So I think that's a cool thing. So let's go out and check this out. All right. So like I said, what's cool is you can charge. So, and you know what? Actually, you can charge, at least in Big Black, I can charge this with that. Yeah, whatever. All right. So it says it's fully charged, but it's not. You could tell that it wasn't, but whatever. So let's bring both of these out. Let's see if we can get Big Black started here with the Loki Thor. I think that's a riot, dude. Loki Thor. That's the other negative, is that nothing is coming in cases now either. I probably have camera head. It's not head, it's camera head. Camera strap head. All right, so Jaguar always starts because Jaguar is used almost all the time. But Big Black, no. Big Black is definitely hurting. So let's see what we got here. All right. Pop the hood. So we're gonna grab this one first because this is what the video is for. This is for the Loki Thor. So we got that in the back here. Pop this little connector. It's got the flat on the top there. Connect that in. And like I was saying, this should have the same function that the other one has, and that reads packs. So put that there. All right. The other thing too is also check your batteries for corrosion. So black to red, red to black. All right, so we got black. I'm gonna go right to the battery. Red, right there. And if I double click this, so there we go. So 11.3 volts is, I believe, what this battery has. So let's see if this works the way it should. So if I single click this, $12. So see what I'm saying? See how it's showing the 12.3, 12.2? And it does have that internal click thing, which it's kind of like a protection. It's basically, I think, saying that it's basically trying to charge two batteries. So got 12.3, 12.4. Looks like it's kind of fluctuating up a little bit. We'll see if it's got the power, man. We'll see if it's got the power. All right, so you can see we got 12.1 volts over there. And I'm gonna put the key in the ignition and let you see what happens to my voltage. So, key in the ignition. It's gonna glow the plugs. Down to 10.4. So let's see. It's ready to go. Let's see if it starts. Okay, that was close. Really, really cold. That actually did have some juice. So we're gonna let this marinate. It's still doing its thing. Back up to 12.3 volts. This actually might stop. Back up to 12.1. We'll put the key on here. Error code, yeah, I know. 11.6. We're all glowed. Oh, dude. In a pinch, it actually works. Wow. I'm very surprised. Oh, got my lights and everything still on. Now the idle will end up kicking up. Right now the glow plugs are still on, so that's why we're only registering at the voltage that we got there. So we're gonna go ahead and check the gauges on my programmer here. You'll see the voltage eventually will pop up. I didn't leave my lights on, did I? No. Why was that on? That's weird. That was weird. My light bar was on. There we go. So the alternator is obviously now, so obviously what TV fault. Yeah, whatever, guy. All right, so basically what I'm trying to tell you is that Loki Thor thing started a dead big black man. So we're already up to 14.2 volts. I'm gonna go ahead and let this truck, warm up and recharge these batteries. I'm actually really shocked. Wow, dude. You've got to be kidding. Look at that, my light bar. Why is my light bar on? That does not make sense. My light bar should not be on. The difference might even be in the cable, man. That would be crazy, dude. Wow, that's a lot. What's up with the light bar here? Do I have a short? Might have a short. Oh, dude, I might have a short. Look at that. Huh, that's weird, dude. That's odd, man. Pretty sure that's my circuit. Oh, no wonder why, dude. The stupid relay. The relay was getting stuck onto it. I wonder if that's what killed my battery. Light's still not coming on. Wow, that's messed up. All right, well anyways, it stinking worked. I'm gonna bring this thing in. Oh, like I was trying to show you. So down here on my truck there's a power port. We'll show you that you can charge this provided you had a good electrical system. So plug this into there. There's a light on here. There's no light on here, so I guess you'll know if it's charging by plugging it in. There we go. So make sure you unplug this, but there we go. So provided your electrical system was 31, wow. Dude, and that's a fast charge. So 57 watts. 57 watts charging, man. So 58. Look at that. 58 watt charging. Provided that your electrical system is in good shape, which this one is. Which is kinda. I love this sound, dude. You gotta listen to this. You can hear that, right? I love it when Big Black does its little turbo noise. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this thing warm up. So, absolutely insane, dude. It actually works. It stinking works. So you'll be able to charge your thing up, be able to charge up your jump pack. Like again, like I said, provided that your charging system's in good shape. If your batteries are not in good shape, don't just keep this going. This is for an emergency kind of situation. I'm really surprised, man. I'm surprised this thing actually did it. It says 9.5 liter gas, 7.5 liter diesel. And I warned them, I said, you know, listen, you want to send me this thing, this is a very power hungry truck. It eats most jump packs. And this one proved itself, man. I wonder if it's the cables, man. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. So anyways, it's RC Guy Garage, testing out the Loki Thor diesel, the Loki Thor, this thing. This is the Loki Thor J3250. So it's a 3250 amp Lipo thing there. PD 60 watt two-way fast charge. Oh dude, look at that. Look how much that's jumped up. It says 60 watt two-way. This is accepting more than 60 something watts. That's awesome. I'm psyched. I guess that Loki Thor is gonna sit in my truck, and I've got a spare jump pack that I'll leave in here just in case, because you never know when you might need, oh, it's cold outside. You never know when you might need an extra kind of jump thing. We're looking at 31 degrees, so I guess it's not too bad. I'm gonna be doing another video on something else. It kind of relates to this. It's a tough one, man, because it works in Jaguar, but not. So anyways, I'm out. Video and jump packs. What are you doing today? I figured I should show this, even though it doesn't apply to everybody, because this is it's a PowerPoint, but I replaced the socket with a USB quick charge 3.0 kind of socket. So this thing right here on the 12 volt system that I got with Big Black went all the way up to like 65 watts, I think it said. But it's charging right now at 63, 62, somewhere around there on fast charge in, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this. You can see it'll drop down to 0. I'm gonna take this, stick this into there. That's supposed to be two-way as well. So you can see it's plugged into there. So now let's see how many watts that thing charges at. So that is a 17 watt charger. So that kind of quick charges at 17 watts. So definitely this is the way to go. Fast charge in. Here we go. It's probably gonna bump right back up to the 60 something watts. So that thing is pretty slick, man. Pretty slick. It's interesting. Now at least I know what the output of that little thing is. That's only outputting 17 watts, so that's not much of a fast charge. I might have to see if I can upgrade that to something else, because I'd much rather have a better... What the hell's calling me? All right, anyways, I feel pretty, how do I say it? I feel kind of impressed by this thing. And I'm laughing right here because after I typed it, you can kind of take it a different way. Don't be that guy. So what that really could be, in reality is the fact that maybe the Loki Thor jump pack thing here could have a higher quality cell, or maybe just the internals are different, or I really don't know. But usually my gauge of a jump pack being good or not, I mean, for the average consumer, just for the everyday kind of person that just wants that kind of like in your car security type of deal, this one so far, man, it seems to be all right. Time to get warm. So take it for whatever it's worth, I guess. The Loki Thor thing so far right here, this thing gets a pass. That thing started Big Black, and that's really no easy task, especially in 29-degree weather, because that's really what it is. The truck doesn't count because it's plugged into the block heater's plugged in. So yeah, not too bad, man. I'm happy with that. I did want to check the back because, like I said, these manufacturers usually they're all making all of these same things. So, you know, is this some kind of rebranded thing, or is the fact that it's got is that a QC thing? I don't know what the heck that is. So, seems to work, man. I'm happy with that. What about you?